All right, let's warm up the audience. Here we are. Welcome to the Dawn and Bob Davis Show.
You're so funny. It's the Bob Show. He's making me do this.
I might have to say that I am.
Mikey's just stuck his hand up my shirt to put a mic on. I said, I don't need to be mic'd. It's crazy.
You're the love bomb. You're the love bomb.
I just love you.
Oh, I love what we do, and we're privileged and blessed to get to pursue our dreams and have these amazing, wonderful adventures.
Yeah, and we got some really fun stories and amazing photographs that really need to be out in the world. And we're super excited about starting the store. And I want Bob to do little videos on like all the stories behind these pictures, because that's what makes these pictures amazing. It's the story that goes with them. So I'm really excited.
Well, that's the key to photojournalism, right?
And I'm super excited because he's doing it all on his own. And I don't have to do any of the work. So for me, I'm like, you go, babe, you go, babe. So tired. I work so hard.
Right? You do. You do. I'm just checking to make sure we're registered out there.
Is anybody even here? We may be talking to...
No, we're live.
I know, but probably nobody's here.
Well, that's okay. 2 people are there. 3 people are there. Can you hear us okay? Give us a thumbs up. If you audio is good, we want to make sure, because it's the first time we're doing 2 mics, right? So we're getting a little high tech here. We could even go camera 1, camera 2,
Ooh.
And here we are over here. So
where is it? Oh, there. I don't know.
This is going to be better than the Ellen Show. Okay, Dawn, dance.
Okay.
Here we go. We can dance.
Hey, it works for Ellen.
Hey, Fred, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. It's always nice. I appreciate your kind words and comments on our photographs. We go back a ways and appreciate your friendship and what you contribute to our industry. It's wonderful.
Yes, you are amazing, talented photographer and friend.
And friend, exactly. So what this is about is, as Dawn shared, we went to the archive. I went down through all my old negatives, and I started pulling out some classic photographs that have never before been published or seen. Hello? Hey, Dawn, your mic is live still, just so you're aware. She just stepped off the table to take a phone call. One of those crazy days. Events are still coming in. We do weddings and events, and I've been a photographer my entire life, so that's a lifelong photojournalism.
Are you okay?
I got into because I love telling stories, both verbally and through our photographs.
Can I call you back, Mom? We're doing a live art show right now on the internet. So I took your call, but is everybody okay?
You know, the era when I first began in the early 80s, I photographed Michael Jordan's entire career from when he first became a Chicago Bull through his retirement, his comeback, his stint in baseball, and then we have some classic photos from concerts, and then just some recent wildlife and landscape. And if you want to see the link to the photographs that we're going to be showing here live in the order that they're going to be in and their availability, the link is right down here on the bottom. So it's bobdavis.artstorefronts.com November-live-art-show.
You can do good job.
Yes. Hey, Adam Kin. How are you, man?
Hi, Adam.
Good to see you. So, should we break out the pile?
Yeah.
And these photographs are all hand-printed by me. Mm-hmm. They are. Many of them have to be digitally copied, so it's a little bit better process than scanning. So actually take a photograph of the negative, and then we process it. What's up?
Larry.
Netflix show.
I know. Everybody tells us we missed the mark. We're like the nobody Chip and JoJo. Sorry.
Could be.
Okay. We're here.
Netflix, if you're out there, she wants a show.
No. Okay.
So here's the pile of prints, and they're all signed. And these, as I said, are available. And I'm going to turn. We'll go to this camera. Right? We're up?
Yeah.
We're live. How's it look, Dawn? Because I can't look at the thing.
I don't know. How's it look?
Is it looking good? Can we see them okay? Well, and I could move in closer. So let's start with number 1 in the show. So if you're following along on what's available at the store on the show, this is early in Michael Jordan's career. It's about 1983, 1984, in that range. This is shot on film. And it was at the old Chicago Stadium. So this is up in the organ loft where all the pipes of the organs are, and whenever they'd sink a basket or something, they'd blow that loud horn. You had to have these big headphones on because it just about scares you right out of your skin. So you have to have everything strapped, taped down. Imagine if you dropped a penny. You're 100 feet up looking straight down on all these talented marquee NBA players. Oh my goodness. So you had to be really careful when you were up there. But this is just one of my most favorite moments. I only got the photograph from up in the rafters for one game, and I was lucky enough to get some beautiful, iconic photographs. So if you guys have any questions, please pop them in the feed. You know, the sizes and the prices are all on the store.
And this is a film, and he scanned it, and I can't even tell you.
Here, turn here, talk to this.
It's beautiful. There's no grain in it. The software today is just incredible, and Bob's been dreaming about doing this for years, and so I'm proud of you, baby. You're finally showing some of your work that you've done when you were at the
BD,
paper.
before dawn.
No, it wasn't. This is not BD.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I was here with it.
It was in the 80s.
We met in '89.
Right, that was like 1983.
Okay, whatever.
You were here for this.
Yes.
So we'll switch over here. So you're going to take it in. So this is Walter Payton, Chicago Bear.
Okay.
Probably one of the sweetest, one of the best running backs that ever played the game. And this is film that we digitally reprocessed and brought it to life.
Again,
and this is from
no
the
grain.
80s.
It's just amazing.
And this photograph, you know, it's one of those iconic moments that you never know when someone's last game is going to be. And this was in the last season of play for Walter Payton, and he's watching the clock tick down as he's going off the field. Consequently, when he later passed away, this photograph ran as a wrapper around the Chicago Sun-Times, so both the front and back of the paper. And to my knowledge, to this day, it's one of the most widely circulating editions of the paper ever printed. And they made this a wrapper, so it's a photograph about this size that people were able to keep as a poster. And I was just so honored to have that privilege that one of our photographs was used to memorialize such a great athlete and wonderful humanitarian.
Yes.
And they're all signed.
Who doesn't love sweetness?
Right? Go over
where
there.
am I going? This way?
Yep.
Okay.
So grab this one. And again, this is film. This is 1990 concert at Soldier Field. The Rolling Stones. Mick Jagger's gotta be the best frontman in the business, bar none. I mean, his style and technique is often copied or emulated. But it was, again, amazing. And this was back in the day when you weren't 3 songs and out. You could just hang around and photograph the concert. So I was able to shoot the whole concert. It was for Edition. Only like 2 or 3 photographs actually were ever printed. So I went back through the archive, gave everything another look, and we made these beautiful photographs of all the band members. So Keith Richards. So I'll put that over there. Keith Richards, if you know, he's the inspiration for Johnny Depp for Pirates of the Caribbean. In fact, he even made it on one of the shows as his father. And then it's sad to say, recently there was the passing of Charlie Watts. Charlie Watts was such a cool guy. He would be playing along, just doing his thing, never really playing up to the antics of a rock and roll star.
And who's Charlie Watts?
Charlie Watts was the drummer of the Rolling Stones. And this is never before, I had to go back and look at the film. This was never printed, never seen. I was just looking through the film.
We haven't posted that one or showed that one yet, Diego.
What's the question?
The Red Baron photo.
Ah, the Red Baron photo. That's coming up. It's coming up.
I think concert. He's got concerts on here.
Yeah, we got concerts at the top, and we're just going along in the order that they're on the art show. So this is pretty cool, you know, and you can't really appreciate it for what we're doing, but on the set list here, this is on the plexi that surrounds the drummer, so he's not too loud for the band. On one side, the whole concert list, the set list, is facing forward so Keith can see it. And it's reversed to Keith because it's on this side printed so Charlie can see it. So, and you don't realize these moments because when you're photographing at the concert, things are changing and going on so fast. And you see all these other cool things right along the front, you know, cups, bottles, all kinds of fun stuff. But these are iconic moments that have never before been printed. So been blessed to have this opportunity. Larry, you like the Rolling Stones? Yeah, I know. I love me some Rolling Stones. You can't beat them. Can't beat them. Here's a different one. I got a little carried away. I printed 3 of Charlie just because when I was going through the archive, that's when he had passed. So it kind of motivated me to give a little bit more look at these photographs. And, you know, they become a little bit more historic. And if you look at our store on our site, there's a whole music section. There's photographs of Frank Sinatra, John Mellencamp.
Such great stories.
Eric Clapton. We got to hang out with Eric Clapton.
You got yelled at by Frank Sinatra.
I did. That's coming up, that print. So Ronnie Wood and Keith just jamming away.
I want people to be able to see the quality of these prints. There truly is no grain in them. It's amazing technology today and how it can take an old film strip and create this beautiful large format print without any. Talk about the paper too.
And this is printed on Hahnemühle fine art Berita paper. So it's fiber-based. They're all archival, 100+ years, as long as you don't mistreat the print, don't get them wet. Suitable, ready to go to hang on the wall. All they need is a good frame. Oh, a little too close. There we go. It's following our faces. This happens to be one. There's kind of a fun story to this one, too. This is Aerosmith. So, again, I photographed the concert. It was there. And years and years and years later, this is in the 90s. So, would you hold it? I'll tell the story. We're taking our son Bobby on some college visits to New York. He was going to go to the Culinary Institute of America. So we're flying back home, and we're in the American Airlines Airport Lounge at LaGuardia. We're sitting down.
The Admiral's Lounge.
The Admiral Club's on, yeah, in LaGuardia. And you hear this voice right behind me. I'm like, oh my God, there's no mistaking it. It's Steven Tyler. So I don't want to be too obvious. I slowly turn around, and yep, there he is, the full getup, the hair up, painted nails. And you hear his very distinct voice, and he's talking. I say to Bobby, hey, go say hi to Steven Tyler. He's like, I'm not going to go say hi. You go say hi. I said, okay, cool. So I pulled this photograph up on my phone. I had it. And I go, hey, Steven, I just wanted to say I really enjoyed your concerts, your talent, your music, been a lifelong fan. And I show him the photograph. And he dialed in immediately. He's like, oh, that was in Chicago. That was the United Center, probably in the 90s. Because that's the only time I did the tear makeup. And he wrote down here, PHUK, it. So, fuck it. He did. In grease paint here. And then he did one of these numbers where he shows it and got all kinds of cool photos. Those are also in the music gallery. So, yeah, incredible, incredible. This is a photograph from a time period when Dawn and I were engaged. Mm-hmm. So this was...
Why do you say it like that?
Well, because some of these are before Dawn, and some of these
Most of them are after Dawn.
This one is actually printed on fine art smooth paper, so it's more of a watercolor paper.
Is that Hahnemühle paper? This one Hahnemühle?
No, this is Canon Fine Art Smooth. Okay. And the reason that I choose different paper surfaces is because it really pulls out these soft muted colors in the sky. So I rode with the Hell's Henchmen, who are a chapter of the Hell's Angels from Chicago to Sturgis for the 50th anniversary. I think it was back in 1992, 90, something like that. So it was about 50 of us that rode out there. Myself and a reporter, Andrew Herman, we were in the car. And this is old school film, so your manual focus hanging out the window, no image stabilization, nothing. Right. It's all old school. Click, advance, click, advance. And you couldn't just bang off 100 frames like you can today with digital. There's 3 frames of this. That's it. And this is the one that was the most steady. So it's just wonderful. And again, this photograph has never before been printed.
Crazy,
I was going back through here. I actually happen to have it here.
I'm
sorry. Oh. So this is all the film and all the work prints we had from this assignment. So, you know, when you're working for a paper and doing assignments like that, they just want a couple photographs. And there's about 25 rolls of color negative film here, and I've only printed like a handful of photographs from it. So we're going to continue to add to our store into the archive. Diego, here you go. This is it. So this is kind of a triptych. So instead, what I mean by a triptych is it's 3 photographs from the same scenario. And I didn't
strip of film.
Exactly, the film strip. And I didn't come all the way in yet. I was looking at it when I was framing it up to copy it with my camera. And I'm like, I kind of like that. The plane repeat, the border, and the edges.
Save it for me, he said.
So this is circa 1983.
This is pre-Dawn.
Very much.
Not very much, only 5 years.
And how old were you in 1983?
I don't even, yeah, I was a baby. You robbed a cradle.
Yeah, so we don't want to talk about that. But I got the privilege of, during the Air and Water Show on press day, of riding with the Red Baron stunt team, flight team. So it was the best roller coaster ride I've ever been on in my life. They're doing side barrel rolls. They're, blowing smoke. They're flying down through the city. I mean, it was just incredible. So at one point, the pilot says, hey, is there any photograph you want to get? And I'm like, heck yeah, I want to get one. So I got the headset on. I got the goggles. I got everything like them. And I said, yeah, I want to get a photograph. And again, there's a few more of these on the actual store in the gallery. But I have photographs where there's 3 planes like stacked right behind us, And I would ask the pilot, then he would talk to the team, okay, pull in tight, pull in formation. And I swear it felt like I could reach out and touch the plane next to me. So again, this is film, old Canon F1 with a fisheye lens. I unbuckled my harness, turned around really quick, and took like click, click, click. At least for this one, you didn't have to worry about focus with the fisheye, F11 and everything's in focus. But this is black and white film.
Lisa, thank you so much. Yes,
What's
please
Lisa?
share. She's going to share the link. And
Oh, yeah, please.
thank you. And we are planning a safari. We just want to, with the COVID and all that, we're just trying to be really, really safe and very cautious and kind of go very slow in our next adventure. So, but it is in the works. So.
And we are announcing our workshops and things on our store. So that's store.bobanddawndavis.com. We have one up there now for 2022 for photographing the migration of Sandhill cranes to Bosque del Apache. I will be there this December, but this workshop is sold out.
With Scott Bourne.
With Scott Bourne, yes, Mr. Scott Bourne, indeed.
The one and only.
So this is just one from an engagement session we did, but it's just such a cool photograph that to me...
Looks like an iconic picture that could be in somebody's...
Yeah, hanging on the wall in somebody's office. And it's getting harder and harder and harder to find taxi cabs, let alone yellow taxi cabs, right? So this is a remote camera. This is not a composite or put together. We've only done one composite really successfully that we've done, and that's in there, and that's from the Total Eclipse.
Yeah.
We did it for fun. But this is all in camera, and this is all Dawn's retouching work to make the photograph sing. We're kind of like Elton John and Bernie Taupin.
I love that scenario.
Yeah, we're in 2 rooms. We actually are. Dawn's up in my loft.
Right.
I
don't
go out
like
in the
working
field,
with him.
and I capture the photo. What do you mean you don't like working?
I don't like working with you.
I have too many questions.
Yes. Every time he comes to my office and he sits down next to me, I just close my laptop. Because I feel like he's always like, why are you doing this? And why are you doing this? And why are you editing it this way? And
Well, I'm
like,
curious by nature.
leave me alone.
So again, another photograph. This reminds me of something that could be modern art. It's just a portrait of a girl with blue light, and we did this, and there was a tile floor, so it created this cool reflection. It's just changing the white balance in the camera and then exposing for the window and then changing it up so we get this nice deep blue. And I just thought it was a very graphic, beautiful photograph. Reminds me of something for like a vodka ad. I could see it on the bottle.
Ooh.
I could. Here's another one. I got
I got a
inspired.
beautiful willow.
I got inspired to take this photograph because I've always enjoyed that painting, the man in the bowler hat, where he's got the bowler hat and the green apple in front of his face. And this is just a different take on that, where I have this black and white background, and there's a story to the background too. The background I created for
Muhammad
a portrait.
Ali.
Exactly. And Dawn was with me. We were engaged then to do a portrait of Muhammad Ali in like 1992. And Muhammad Ali was truly one of those first athletes to cross the boundary of race and culture. So our sports editor thought, we'll do a real creative portrait of it. So what I did is I had Muhammad on this black and white background because he crossed over all racial barriers. People accepted him as a person and admired the athlete that he was. So I use this, let's pull that photo back over again. And what I wanted to do in this scenario with the background is I wanted the shadow side of her face to be on the white side and the light side of her face to be on the dark side and have the hat split the two. It's just a creative technique I wanted to try for a portrait, and it worked out really well. All right, let's check and see.
I'm looking, no questions.
No questions? Cool.
Not that I saw you.
Awesome. Well, Dawn, you were with when we took this. This was on one of our recent safaris, and this is in Botswana. What are you doing?
Nothing. Go ahead. Keep going.
Well, the questions are over here too.
I know.
So we were watching this.
This was super sad. I cried.
They call it a coalition of cheetahs, but it's a mother cheetah.
So wait, can I tell the story of this one?
Yes.
I love this story. So
Please.
We were on safari, and at the time, there was a mama cheetah that had 3 baby girls and another mama cheetah that had 3 baby boys. And the babies were about 11 months old when we were there. And so at this time in their lives, the mamas are teaching them how to hunt, right? And so when we would watch the mama teach the girls, the baby girls, how to hunt, they would literally hunt and do their job and do it well and eat and survive. And mama was, you could tell mama was really proud of them. With the mama with the 3 boys, oh my gosh. She could not get these baby boys to hunt to save their life. So they literally chased. Now this is sad because it took them a long time, and mama had to like step in and show them how to hunt many times. You could see her shaking her head at her boys going, oh my gosh, why are they not getting this? But it really came in handy because there was, at one point, we were watching a baby elephant.
No, a baby giraffe.
I'm sorry, a baby giraffe be born. And mama and the 3 boys were there trying to hunt this baby giraffe that was literally just out. The mom had the umbilical cord hanging from her. It was, I mean, the giraffe hadn't even gotten up yet to walk. And imagine being born, and the first thing you do is you're running for your life. And that was what was happening. And it took an hour for this mom to swing her head and hit these cheetahs that were trying to get to her baby giraffe. And they eventually did make it out, but it took about an hour. And thank God it wasn't the girls that were hunting, because that baby would not have been alive. So I just think that's funny, the difference between girls and boys in the wild.
Very true.
Kind of the same in life, you know?
Maybe. I don't know about that. Wildlife, we really enjoyed going on safari. Africa really steals a piece of your heart. You know, and there's just so much abundance of life and diversity when you're there. And this was just a beautiful blackbird with iridescent shades of blue.
There's a name for that bird. What is the name of it? Do you remember?
I don't remember that. This isn't the lilac-breasted rover.
No, I know.
I don't remember the name of it. But birds are habitual.
Let me see. Yes, it is. That is the lilac-breasted roller. Yes, it is. I promise you that is. I know it is. Don't look at me like that. Listen, one of the best things, Bob and I love to travel, right? But one of the things I don't like to do is go to the same place twice, because you know that feeling of when you see something for the first time and it just takes your breath away and it's like embedded in your brain forever. And then when you see it, 50 more times, it kind of becomes like, okay, I saw it. And you're not as taken back by it. Well, the one reason why we like to keep going on safari is because every day is different. You just never know what's going to happen. You never know if you're going to see some wild interactions with animals, or if you're just going to see some birds, or what's going to happen. And that's the most exciting thing about going on safari, is coming back at the end of the day or during the day, because you go out on safari twice. The best thing about it is coming back and sharing your stories over a great meal. It's truly, truly, truly life-changing. We love traveling, but safaris and wildlife photography is just absolutely.
And different cultures.
Yeah.
You don't always see a hunt or a kill. That's extremely rare. They're only successful at 1 out of 10 times, 2 out of 10 times.
The other thing that's super cool about being on safari is that you can all be on safari and come back with such different moments. And you're like, oh my God, wow. Everybody's like, and you think, if you're not a morning person and you have to get up at 5 in the morning to go on your first safari. I was like, I'm not going. I'm not doing the first one. I was the first one in the kitchen every day at the restaurant.
She'd stake her spot in
Yep.
her Jeep. Like,
Oh.
I want to sit here.
Because it is just the most amazing thing on earth. Okay.
All right.
Getting past that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Great stories. So this, I just wanted
Show
to tilt it because
Yep,
the light.
I'll do it.
There you go. Just tilt it forward a little bit
Yep.
because it's so bright and white. So these are baby egrets. And when you're looking at them with and without feathers and at this stage, you really could see that they're prehistoric. And you see that correlation between what paleontologists say is that dinosaurs evolved from birds or birds evolved from dinosaurs, whatever the case may be.
There's
but it
detail in
truly
this here.
looks, there is. Yeah,
I
there's
just
full
can't,
detail.
I can't get it to show the detail because the
Here, turn to this
reflection.
camera. Let's go over here. There you go, a little bit further back. Nice.
Well, I can't see now because we're still at the other one.
Oh, tilt it forward. It's down a little bit. Good.
Oh, here
Still
we
kind
go.
of bright.
Anyways, okay, go back to the other
But that was
camera.
on the Mississippi River.
Go back to the other
And
one.
there's these sandbar islands that if you're on a boat, you just troll up really close to it. And with a nice long telephoto lens without disturbing the wildlife, you could photograph them in their habitat. Where if you tried to walk up on a nest on a shoreline or something like that, you're obvious and it would spook them away. But the boat is kind of a blind. And as long as there isn't a loud blaring motor or anything, you just kind of troll in there. They pay no attention to you. So you can get these wonderful moments.
Yeah, they do look prehistoric. It's crazy.
We have some photographs of
Nature is amazing.
pelicans being born, hatching right out of the egg. It's just crazy. This is some of my favorite. Birds in flight have got to be the most challenging thing to photograph. So if you hold that, I'm going to touch the screen and get it to focus on the owl, because that's a snowy owl in the snow. There we go, kind of do it. And I wish that you could, this is an overcast day. This is up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and the snowy owls will come in January, February, when it gets really cold in the Arctic. They come south to continue to feed. And this snowy owl, she's a female. You could tell a female from a male because females are much larger and they have black and white. They have a lot of black spots, where a male only has a few black spots on their chest, and they're quite a bit smaller than the female. Well, this female was sitting on fence posts hunting this field. This is some type of crop under there, probably soybeans or corn, and there's little tunnels underneath there where there's voles and little other varmints, and she could see that snow move, and she would hop down off the fence post and then boom, land on the ground and wait for that movement again, and then strike and get her lunch. But just amazing.
Isn't she gorgeous?
Just gorgeous.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Kim, I love egrets too. My mom lives in Florida, and the egrets in her backyard are like absolutely incredible.
So this one was taken last January. It's 20 below outside, the real temperature along the Mississippi River. And there's a nesting pair of eagles. I don't want to block you. Nesting pair of eagles. And this eagle, they were prepping the nest, getting ready for breeding season. So this was in late January. And it's picking up nesting materials to go and feather the nest, so to speak. And this pair of eagles, you can see an actual eagle cam on the stewards of the Mississippi River. And you can look up the eagle cam, and they've been there for about 15 years. So it's wonderful that we're getting more and more breeding pairs of bald eagles in Illinois, all over. Within a 5-minute drive from my house, I could go over to a prairie, and there's a breeding pair of eagles there. So it's just amazing and magnificent to see them fly, to see them fish. It's absolutely my favorite bird to photograph.
This is printed on like a
This is
Hannah
printed
Mule watercolor?
on Hannah Mule watercolor paper. There's a nice
gorgeous.
fine art texture to it. And again, I let the paper speak to me because of the tones and the way they reproduce on different paper surfaces.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. I think God had fun making birds.
I think so. There's so many different birds. All right. This is out west, Horseshoe Bend. It's the canyon from the Colorado River leading up to the Grand Canyon. And it's crazy how ginormous this is. I mean, talk about feeling small You take an end, and I just want to explain what this is. But, you know, there's a little cabin way down here and this ginormous canyon, and you're sitting right on the edge, literally right on the edge. You could just fall right in. This was just at sunrise, and this isn't just one click of a photograph taken and done, because there's such an exposure range from the base of the canyon to the sky. So it's very dark down here and very bright up here. And the way we accomplish this is with multiple exposures. So this is actually made up of 35 different photographs. So kind of like your iPhone in panoramic mode, only this one is 5 exposures from the shadows to the sky. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos, and then times 7 across. So this is 35 photographs all put together in post-production so that we get this panoramic view with all the tonality that's in the scene. Our eyes can adjust and could see that when we're there in nature, but a camera with one click cannot. It has limited dynamic range. But it's just awe-inspiring when you get to see the power of nature. Here's where we'll be going in December, and then we're just announced that we have another workshop coming up with Scott Bourne back at Bosque del Apache in November, late November of 2022. So this is Bosque del Apache at sunrise, and these are dancing sandhill cranes. And this, again, is on that fine art paper. Anything that's got beautiful color and soft tonal gradation, I like to use the smooth fine art paper.
This is the Hahnemuhle watercolor?
This is Canon Fine Art Smooth.
Canon,
this one.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're holding
Look
out
at
their
that.
wings
I mean, that is
just as
just-
the sun is rising. And they roost
a
overnight
blessing.
in the water for safety, because there's, you know, mountain lions there, there's wild boars, there's coyotes and wolves, and they don't like to get wet. So the cranes will stay in this reflecting pool or a big pond that they have there for them. And just as the sun comes up, you know, they spread out their wings, shake them out, warm up, and when the sun peaks off, it's like somebody blows a whistle and they have this massive blast off, and then they take off to go into the fields and feed. It's amazing to see.
That's such a beautiful print.
Let's see. Mr. Fox, how are you? Good to see you there.
Corey.
Thank you. Thank you. Cool. Love the egrets. Oh, yeah, you said that already.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Enjoy birds. Birds are easy to find and easy to see.
Because they're usually so colorful.
They're so colorful, so entertaining.
Elephants are my favorite, though.
Oh, yes. We're going to get to an elephant story. So this was, again, taken at the same time I took that eagle that was nesting. This is the smallest of the falcons. It's about the size of a robin. This is an American kestrel, and they're just absolutely beautiful, but they're a fierce, tiny little falcon. And they will hunt other birds and other small mammals and snakes and insects and things. But they don't sit still very long. So I just happened to capture it. I was watching the eagle, and I turned this way, and I lost the eagle, and I saw something small, fast, boom, fly and land. It's like, oh boy. Got my long lens, looked at it, and it was a kestrel. And I only got about 3 frames before it, gone. Beautiful. And that one, too, is printed. That's on the Hahnemuhle Fine Art watercolor paper. Beautiful texture to it. And again, if you guys are interested, hey Troy! Cheers, man. Oh, Dawn, you got to tell the story of this one.
No, I don't know the story behind this one because you were with Allie when you took this. Our daughter says that she took it, but...
She could have. She could have. Yeah, we were in South Africa, and we were on safari there in a tented camp. And we were, again, we love elephants. Dawn was in a different Jeep. We usually have 2 or 3 Jeeps that we go out on. Dawn's in one as a leader to help with people. I'm in one.
iPhone photography.
Yeah, Dawn really rocks the iPhone. So we saw this baby, we saw a bunch of elephants. And then this baby started flapping its ears, stomping the ground, trumpeting, right? They get like, I'm tough, I'm tough, I'm tough. You're not going to mess with me.
And it's the cutest thing on earth because they'll stomp their feet and they'll charge you and they'll blow their horn. You know, but they're like these little tiny things that are probably, you know, a good 300 pounds. I don't know.
Really cute.
They
and this
are.
bird, it was like a scene out of Lion King. This bird would go and fly and flutter past the baby elephant, and he'd turn and he'd run after it. And the bird would land on a branch, and by the time the baby got a little closer, the bird would fly way back over there. So the little elephant would run over there, and then it would run back, and then it would run over there. And after the third time, we actually got it all in one frame to see it happening. The bird was on this branch, and here came the baby. And I just like that moment as the bird leaps off, and the little elephant's trunk is like, no. And after a few times, just like any other mom, the matriarch, she's like, get over here. She blows her horn and takes her trunk and wraps it around him, pulls him in close.
The funniest elephants are the teenagers, because the teenagers, especially the boys, the matriarchs are constantly slapping them. Get in line, quit messing around.
There's safety in numbers, and you will see, when you're there, big cats on the perimeter, they usually will not go after an adult elephant. But if they see it's opportunity, if they see a young one off by itself, they'll try and go for it.
Yeah.
But we've never seen that happen. So these were the boy cheetahs. Oh, hey, Mark. Excellent images printed on paper. It's wonderful. Yeah, it is great to see photographs printed instead of always looking at them on the screen. For me and Dawn, we agree.
It's not a photograph until it's printed.
Exactly. And this one is, again, this is printed on the Hahnemühle fine art paper. We're going to bring this up really close. And it's crazy the quality of that, because this was just after sunset. And it's some insane high ISO, like 512,000 gazillion ISO. But my point to that is with technology today, you could get photographs that you couldn't have taken with film. So they're pretty much active at sunrise and sunset. So this is the mama, and these were the boys. We were waiting for these guys all day. And there's all four of them in there.
You're right.
The one little cheetah head popping up over the rocks, and they were eyeballing a group of impala off in the distance. And it just got so dark that we couldn't stay with them anymore.
Oh, it's funny when we were watching that one chase with the baby impala that you saw earlier, the Steenbok, right? We were just pulling up as this was happening. It was all starting to unfold as we were pulling up. So we actually ran with the chase, and all of a sudden you see mom stop, because cheetahs really aren't supposed to run that far because they exhaust themselves too quickly. And they run in open,
remember, they can overheat.
And they can overheat, and they run in open land. Well, these cheetah boys took off. I mean, like farther than we could see, and you could just see mom sitting there going, "Where'd they go? Right? Where did they go?" Here, and she's sitting on one baby impala, the one you saw in that picture, waiting for the boys to come back so she could say, "All right, here you go. Here's this baby." And it was like, oh, it was so sad.
Well, they're our guide, and again, when Dawn says we were following them, we work with amazing guides. We are not on top of the animal. Those are all taken with 600 millimeter lenses. In fact, just to reiterate that when we pulled up on the baby giraffe being born, Dawn's talking to Bosque, stop it, you can't let the cheetahs get the baby.
I was crying and saying, "Bosque, please drive through this. Just help the baby." And he said, "I take an oath. I can't do it.
We
it's
can
part
observe,
of nature.
we can't interfere."
It's the circle of life, Dawn, and that's the one thing that is super hard about being on safari. But the benefits of being on safari is
and again,
far
you don't
outweighs
often
those.
see that. It's very rare to witness and see a hunt, because you got to put the time in, and you got to be patient, because they only eat maybe once every 3 days. They'll feed
well, like a big kill,
Right.
Right.
But it's safety first. Cheryl,
you can attest to this.
Cheryl and Kevin have photographs of that cheetah hunt.
Same
they
cheetah
were there
hunt,
with us. Yeah, and she could attest to it. Boy, when those cheetahs took off, we were kind of, 100 yards off away from them, trying to parallel. And you have the super telephoto lens, and you're trying to keep them in the frame and photograph this chase. And you're,
It's
but
true.
again, our guides, everybody's remaining safe so that we're not going to interfere with her kill, because if they don't eat, the babies will die.
I don't even know how to describe that.
We'll call it modern art. So I'm always looking for things to practice and play and test my skills and learn.
Yeah, I know, Cheryl. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, no. So let's just throw it out there. Does anybody have any ideas
what this is?
Right? We can kind of float that out there.
It takes a while for people. We're like
a
delay, so you could just talk about it and let people, if they want to guess what it is.
So this is done with speed lights, small Canon flashes, and we were testing the short flash duration. And that's actually greater for stopping action than the actual shutter speed of a camera. So these are water droplets. And this is what happens when they collide and hit, right? So this is 2 drops that have collided, and then they bounce apart, creating the crown. And it's lit with 3 different flashes. There's flashes to light the background red, 2 of them, and then there's 1 just to highlight the water drop and to freeze the
Diego,
action.
weren't you at during here for this?
He was.
Yes,
He
you
was.
can't comment. You knew it was water.
He was. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Incredibles logo. Just worked out that way.
Oh, it kind of does.
You know?
Yeah. I love it, though. It's
But
pretty.
it's cool, modern art.
Modern
something
arts.
different. When you get bored and you got to practice and you can't go outside because it's raining or cold or you can't get to the wildlife, you got to do something to keep those skills alive.
I miss you, Cheryl.
Miss you, Cheryl. Say hi to Kevin. So we're going to record this, and we're going to put it out on YouTube, and we're going to email everybody who's on the list, so you'll get to see this show again. This photograph is taken in New York City, and this is down under the Brooklyn overpass. So Dumbo, the view of Manhattan and the Brooklyn Bridge. I love the Brooklyn Bridge and the story of how it was built and the carousel. And again, this is another photograph that is a panoramic, meaning we've stitched multiple photographs together. And this one was about the same, about 35 exposures. So it's a slice of 5, a slice of 5, a slice of 5, a slice of 5. And we put it all together. And for the heck of it, I said, let's print it black and white. And I really enjoyed it. And again, this is on the Hannah Mule fine art paper, and it's just beautiful. You could see every detail in it. John's been dying to get to this photograph.
I just think the story behind this is hilarious.
And this one comes in 2 sizes. We just happen to have it.
It's 2 different pictures, too.
Oh, it's 2 different moments. Yes. Yes.
So this is the Rat Pack. So if I'm right, this is Frank. So I'm sorry, I may be off. I think this
We'll
is
see.
Frank. This is Sammy and Tony Bennett? No?
Come on.
I don't know, I'm sorry.
Tony Bennett.
Who?
Although I have photographed
Who is
Tony.
he?
Dino.
Dean Martin.
The Rat Pack.
Dean Martin, sorry.
Dean Martin. Oh, my goodness.
I'm a new soul. He's such an old soul. Yeah. And so every time he plays, I love Frank Sinatra music now, but he definitely had to
That's life. The chairman of the board. Have you ever been yelled at by someone that'll just make you drop your pants and run? Have you? The chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra. Boy, one of my first assignments, I'm working, freelancing for the Daily Southtown, and boom, shaka-laga-laga. I get the assignment to go photograph the Rat Pack. Their last
at the
tour
Chicago
appearance
Theater.
in
right?
Chicago. Yep,
Right.
the Chicago Theater, 1983. I was 20 years old.
Pre-dawn.
Way pre-dawn. And I have 2 film cameras, a Canon A1 and a Canon AT1 and single frame advance, click, boom, black and white film. And again, it's the old days, so there's no restrictions at the concert. You could go anywhere you want. So you get your pass, you check in, you go down, and I'm able to go sit on the floor, orchestra center, perfect view, excellent. The paper is like, okay, we want 2 photos. One of Frank, obviously, and one of all 3 of them in the same frame. So they play for about 15, 20 minutes, and they're all over the stage. They're all doing their own thing. They're all singing. They're all having fun. They finish a set. They start pouring each other drinks. Sammy lights up a cigarette. I got a cool photograph of Sammy lighting it up. And he's singing, smoking. Yeah, the Shamala. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way it is, see? Yeah. Anyways. So they take this break, and right after this moment, Frank looks out into the audience. He's got his mic, got the drink. He just kind of pausing. And I'm looking through my lens. You know when you know someone's looking right at you through the lens, but you're trying to say, no, they're not. Hi. And he is. And I'm like, so I put the camera down because I start getting really nervous. My hands are sweating.
He's new, too. He's just a kid.
Yeah, I'm 20 years old. And so Frank
He's
yells
old.
out, it's kind of quiet, hey, kid. I'm like, I look around like, you can't be talking to me. Right? And so I go, he goes, yeah, you. And I'm like, yes. He goes, did you get your picture yet? And I'm like, I nod, yes. He goes, get the hell out of here! You know, and the whole Chicago theater is clapping and cheering because there goes Frank, and I take my tail and tuck it between my legs, and I scurry up out of the hallway, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope I got some pictures.
I just got yelled at by
I hope, but I was worried that I didn't have anything for the paper, right? Because it's film. You don't know. No chimping. I shot not even 2 full rolls, so a roll and a half of film.
Like 36 shots, yeah.
If I was lucky to have 36 out of the 2 rolls, yeah. Because one camera has your wide angle lens and the other camera had a 200 millimeter fixed focal length lens.
I'm crying, that's
Oh
hilarious.
man, yep, having his little scotch. Yep.
I wish I was there. I wish I was there. I would have died laughing.
So this is a different moment, but a smaller print.
Oh, Joe's with us. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
What is it? Dawn is such.
Dawn is such a kid.
Dino, what's Dino mean? Is that part
Dean
of the rap?
Martin, that's his nickname. Dino, Sammy, and the chairman of the board.
I didn't know that.
Now, you were here for this.
Yes, I was. I got to shake his hand, and he was such a gentleman.
It's very cool. We have other portraits of him where he opens up his suit, and inside it says, the greatest. And this was before he was very debilitated, and we were, having a good time. Backstage, It was for a celebrity chair auction, and this is where we used that black and white background.
That you spoke about earlier.
I did, yeah. And he was so amazing. I had these gloves. I brought him with. I brought the whole thing for this portrait, that he just sat down and signed the gloves and gave them to me. Didn't even ask him to. So I was so grateful. I sent him photographs, and he signed one and sent it back to me. So that was just such a blessing.
That one's not for sale.
The signed one? No.
Nope.
That one's not for sale. This is another photograph from early in my career. Just a great favorite moment.
We were together. This is not No, I was with you with the. No, I wasn't. Okay.
You were not. I was still at
But
Columbia
you were
College.
photographing You were photographing kids boxing when we met.
I did, because I stuck with it.
Okay.
I have like enough photographs to do an entire essay on this youth boxing program, and this is one of my most favorite moments. I mean, look at the expression on his face, the American flag. I mean, everything about it. This is when they allowed smoking in arenas. This is in a church hall, and I have a photograph up higher up, and you see all the smoke, in the arena, and ding, 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 the bell goes off. And these kids go out there with gloves bigger than their heads and their headgear on. And, they just flail their arms around and they knock each other down. And, it was all for charity. And it was pretty fun. It was amazing. Just one of my favorite pictures. Great moments.
For sure.
We'll pull that up. So you hold that. I'll refresh that other screen. See what we got going here, just so we can keep up if there's any comments. Joe is such a baby. Larry, I know. Fun stories. Now, this was with Dawn. So I got to travel with the Bulls. I photographed Michael Jordan's entire career from his rookie year.
Pork, that was at the Lady of the Ridge boxing.
Yes, Our Lady of the Ridge and Chicago Ridge, their boxing show.
I remember when you were talking about putting your son in boxing, but that's a long time ago.
It is
Go
a long
ahead,
time.
sorry.
He's in college now. Out of college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Where does time go?
The goat.
Yes, he is.
I just learned what the goat meant.
Yeah, me too. I had to look it up when we were watching The Last Dance. I'm like, why are they calling him a goat? He's not a goat. He's the best player ever.
I know, we had to look it up.
Mean? What's a goat? Greatest of all time. Duh. And this really was. I mean, oh my God. The playoffs, traveling with them, hanging out with Michael. I have tons of stories. But what's unique is this is one of those iconic moments where it was a playoffs.
3-on-1.
5-on-1.
Oh, 5-on-1.
The entire
I know something
team.
like that.
Illegal defense. You could triple team a guy, but you can't do 5-on-1. And it's just amazing. The whole front line, Barkley, Hawkins, Denkin, all of them were there trying to block Jordan, and they just couldn't shut him down playing against the Philadelphia 76ers.
Why couldn't they shut him down?
Because he's so athletic.
Tell him about the practice story. I love that story.
Tell him about the practice story. Well, so, when Michael would play, he was always going to be the news no matter what. And it was the same during the playoffs. If he goes up on the floor to practice, somebody's got to be there, because what if he stubs his toe? What if he jams his thumb and he can't play in these games? That's huge news. So I would go up on the floor, get to the games really early, because I knew Michael would do this, and he'd be up on the floor before anybody else. They'd just kind of fire up the lights, and Michael would come up on the floor, start bouncing the ball, warming up, shoot from around the free throw line, shoot from the three-point line, do all these basic drills in practice. And I said, Michael, why are you here way before everybody else? If you're here, I got to be here, and it's kind of like 3 hours before the game. And he said his coach from North Carolina told him that if you get on the floor in that moment in time and you practice the basics and you make that shot, when the clock is ticking down on the clock, when there's 3 seconds left and they pass me the ball, I'm not nervous because in my mind, I've already made that shot today on this floor. And so I've always embraced that.
Practice, practice, practice.
Yeah.
Oh, you are quite popular today.
I am.
Shiv, it's so nice to see you. You're so sweet. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. That's just wonderful.
Pork, you're funnier.
So these are way pre-Dawn.
Oh my gosh,
this
I
was
love
during my
these though. These are so sweet.
Internship.
Because I was on this show.
I was on this show as a kid.
I got to go to the Bozo show.
And everybody
this
remembers
is Bob Bell.
Bob Bell. And I photographed his last show. And no one had ever photographed him doing his makeup, in or out of makeup. And these are back on Ektachrome color slide film because we were doing it with all just the tungsten light and the makeup mirror and things. So these are historic. I mean, no one else has done this. I'm the only one that has photographed him doing his makeup and doing the transformation.
Isn't that crazy? Look at Bozo, you guys.
Yeah, 1983.
I love Bozo.
Again, back with my old Canon F1, single advance, no motor drive.
And he did his own makeup.
He did his own makeup. And then I gave him, of course, some prints. He enjoyed them so much. He invited me to his actual retirement party. We became acquaintances. It was just fun. It's just an amazing career that we've had.
This is the last one.
That's the last one.
Yep.
In fact,
there I am.
I'm right there. That's with the Canon AT1 in the shot. And I have that lens, 28 millimeter lens still.
Well, that's it.
That's it. I hope you enjoyed it. And let me just pop this on. Here's the link. If you want to see the photographs that are immediately for sale, that are printed and signed by me, you could go to this link and you'll find them there. And if you want to look at other photographs that we have, they're great Christmas gifts. We have all kinds of cool merchandise like yoga mats.
I'm super proud of Bob. He's been wanting to do this for years and years and years. And because I feel like I run our business.
You do?
And I do so much. I mean, I work way, way, way too many hours. I put in so much time.
Love.
And I just didn't want to do the store because I'm too busy. And I said to him, for years I've been saying to him, go for it, babe. Go for it, babe. And he's never done it. So he's finally making this store. And I'm super proud of him because there's just... The stories behind these pictures are just, not that they're just not just beautiful pictures, but the stories behind them are just incredible. And I'm so proud of him for sharing this with the world. And I hope that it's a success for him. It's just
for us.
Sure, for us.
So let's just give a quick preview.
Okay.
Here is the prints that we actually went through in the order that they were.
And if you click, you can get a 20% off coupon, right?
Not on
these. Okay.
Yeah, but on everything else in the store,
okay.
You can. But these are all the photographs you could click to buy now. Or if you just go to the store.
Store at .bobanddawndavis.com. Store dot.
There, right there. It's populating. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here is where you could get the coupon. And also register for the free print giveaway. We're going to be giving away this photograph of the matriarch.
Where
at the
is
watering
that
hole.
print? I wanted to show that today.
It's not up here. It's not.
I know.
So
it's so beautiful.
Look here. Yes, it
Wait,
is beautiful.
so go to the elephants really quick and just tell you, this one right here at the watering hole is my absolute favorite image ever.
Here's other cheetahs, and here is the photograph you like.
I love this. Look at this. Tell me when you look at this picture, what is not the coolest thing about this picture? Can you make it big?
Yeah.
The coolest thing about this picture for me is the matriarch sitting there going, all right, what are you doing? What are you, like, you're looking like side-eyeing us. I guess maybe you had to be there in the moment to really feel that, but
Well, where are we? How did we get this far?
we are in Botswana at a reserve that has a hide, and it's a
one of those old ocean-going shipping containers.
yeah,
like
a
a
shipping
40-foot
container
long.
that they built into the ground and cut out a hole, long rectangular window, and
And then they covered it with
they
earth.
covered it with earth. Yeah, so you just
No, no, I was just because it's very important that people realize this thing is not just this metal container.
and it's not a
sitting.
composite of like this. We put this elephant here and this one here. This actually happened.
Yes, yes. And if you make too much noise when you're there, the elephants, they'll hear you. And like I said, it's this window opening like about that big.
And they'll spray in the window.
And they'll spray in there,
Mhm.
right?
They've had cheetahs go right up to that window. I mean,
Yes.
it's pretty.
Everything goes in there. That's why you have to be
It's
really
very exciting.
quiet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very exciting. It's
Yeah, the
very
hide
exciting.
is
because
one of my favorites.
The window is right at the water.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
they just
could
walk right
put
in.
Your hand right in the
We
water.
have videos of them taking baths in there. I mean, it is the most amazing.
Oh, when the elephants come,
Yes.
everybody else is out.
Yeah.
Pool's closed.
Because they come in a herd. I mean, like hundreds
and
of
then the
elephants
babies
at a
flop
time.
in.
Oh my God, it's the most amazing experience of your life.
It is fun. It is fun.
Okay, well,
Let me hide this. Come back over here. All right, let's see. Anybody else have any questions? Is that along the Chahobie? It is not. It is not. This is at the Tule Reserve in Botswana. So it's not at the Chahobie
I'll
River.
take this. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining
I
us,
love
Mrs.
you.
Davis. Love you. All right, guys.
Hello?
Thanks again for joining us. I appreciate
Hello?
it. Again, think about this for Christmas gifts. Also,
No, we got 'em.
bookmark our
Thank you.
page,
Thank you, honey.
store.bobanddawndavis.com, because that's where we're going to put
Okay,
our
love you.
workshops and
Bye-bye.
our photographic safaris and travel excursions and experiences.
That was our daughter. She's at the grocery store. She wanted to know if Hunter needed carrots.
Aw, that was so good. Thank you.
She's such a good girl.
Dawn wants to plan a trip to go to the south of France to see
The white horses.
at Carmagru.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
going to do that soon.
We are. We're just lining everything up with
Yeah,
travel
and-
and the pandemic. and
Yes,
As soon as it's safe. and-
Yep, as soon as it's safe. So I'm not going anywhere until I feel really safe. And I know that some people feel safe. I just want to make sure that it's a good time,
And
so we're not rushing anything.
We're going to have, I'll announce them coming up shortly, a bear, walking with bears. I had a
Oh, where's
photograph.
that photograph?
Oh,
I know, that was gorgeous.
oh.
I'm so excited.
I could get it if you want to keep talking for a
No,
minute.
it's okay. You don't have to do that.
I shared it yesterday in the videos.
What am I going to sit here and talk about?
I don't know.
No, it's fine.
All right. Well, thanks again. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for taking the time and stopping by, and I hope you enjoy the photographs. And drop any of your comments in the feed. Drop any ideas that you'd like to see. We might have it in the archive, and we could add it to the galleries. It's going to continue to grow our store and our gallery, and when we add something new, we're going to continue to do these lives as an announcement. All right. Let's click out.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, guys.